On our program today, we have a very special guest. This is Marjean Birt. Marjean, my dear friend. I've always wanted Marjean to adopt me, and she hasn't really filled out the papers yet, but hopefully someday. But she's a wonderful person. She's involved in many, many community affairs. One of them is in the Alpharetta Historical Society, where she is executive director of, you like to be called, of the Mansell House, because that's
the home of the Alpharetta Historical Society and the Alpharetta Welcome Center. And Carol, it's nice to be with you today, and the papers are in the mail.
Oh, that's what I like to hear. Okay, good. Make sure I'm in your will, too. No, we kid around a lot, but I really appreciate Marjean taking her Saturday time and coming and being on the show with us. What I wanted to talk about was not only what they're doing at Alpharetta Historical Society, but also kind of touch on maybe you'd like to get involved in something like this in your own hometown, and how maybe you can contact Marjean or someone else, or even look in the phone book and find out about a historical society in your area and go to the meetings, and you might be real interested in what they're doing and what's happening with them. I know, Marjean, you have had some exciting things happening in the Alpharetta Historical Society, and we want to talk especially about the Mansell House. Now, how in the world would you acquire an old home and then move it to a certain location and it end up being your welcome center? How did that all come about?
Well, you know, it's easier than you would think these days, and I'm glad you're promoting it. Appreciate it, because I would like to see this happen in many communities. And if the highway department or some, say, a subdivision or a shopping center is going to be building in an area where there's some homes with history and character, heritage, that's a good place to begin. And the way we did ours was that when I was executive director of the North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, a company from Zeeland, Michigan, Herman Miller Company, moved there, and they were going to use this 1910 farmhouse as a guest home.
And that was on part of their property, because I noticed their drive just kind of goes around. They've got this beautiful lake there, but then this old home just kind of sits off to the side. Yes.
So when I found that they had decided it wasn't feasible to make a guest home out of it, I asked them about the possibility of the Alpharetta Historical Society having it. So they were very gracious to let us have it for a very minimal amount. And then they gave us a donation toward moving the house.
Isn't that great?
So we moved the house 2.4 miles onto city property, and we own the home and the Mansell House, and the city owns the property. So we work together, the Alpharetta Historical Society, and we promote the Historical Society, and we promote the city of Alpharetta. We have maps for the city and newsletters for the city and pertinent information on local organizations and businesses and activities, special events. And when we moved the house, we had to take the roof off. You might find one that has a lot of character and history to it that you wouldn't have to do that, but in your community.
I was in part of that planning, too, excuse me.
Yes.
But remember how was it Georgia Power Company was saying they were going to have to take down the lines?
Lower the lines.
I mean, there's a lot of work in this.
Yes, but it's gratifying.
I mean,
it
you're
really
gracious,
is.
but it was a lot of work, I know.
And it's been really exciting since we have the house moved, and you don't have to worry if you got a good mover about doing any destruction to the house. The destruction was nil as far as we're concerned. We just had a foundation made to put it on, and we began the renovation. This particular house, the walls, the ceilings had been lowered to 8 feet. We have had volunteers that have put them back up to the original 12 feet.
Wow.
The floors had wall-to-wall carpeting, and to our sheer delight, when volunteers took the carpet up, we found the original hardwood floors.
Well, we want to talk more about the renovations.
All right.
But we want to break right now and go over to the M&M Puppeteers, which I know you'll enjoy. We want to have them do their first number, which we take